Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar for third call projects. This session is going to be about how you kickstart your new project. We'll take you through some of the next steps and what's to come. My name is Julie, and I'm the communication officer, or a communication officer here at Interreg Europe. And this session will be about 90 minutes, and I will be joined by some of my colleagues to take you through everything you need to know about projects. So let's start with the agenda. Over the next 90 minutes, we'll do a bit of a welcome from our director, Erwin Sivris, and then we'll tell you a little bit about ourselves, how we're organized, so you'll get to meet the team. Then we'll go through some of the steps that are coming, some of the things you need to do pretty much right now. So, for example, how to fulfill your conditions. Then we'll go through the subsidy contract. We'll learn a little bit more about the project partnership agreement. And then we'll shift gears and we'll go through the communication requirements. And then finally, we'll let you know a bit about what's coming next. So some of the events that you might be interested in, some of them that you probably should be joining us for. Some are very exciting. And we'll give you some online resources that you can sign up to or that you can use. During today, we'll also be using Slido to collect your questions. So if you have any questions about today's topic, please put them on Slido. We'll be taking them live. There'll be periods for Q&A specifically. But of course, we also have two of my colleagues, Camille and Hassan, who are behind the scenes, and we'll be answering some of these questions in writing. So if you do have a question that's relevant to today's topic, please put it on Slido and we will answer all the questions. Even if we don't take them live, they will be answered in writing. I'm also joined by the communication team who are behind the scenes. So my colleagues Hannah, Marie, and Lisa, and they're making sure that this webinar runs smoothly. So do say hi to them in the chat because they'd love to hear from you. And of course, we'll be joined by three speakers today. So we'll be joined first by Erwin, who's our director. We'll have Anne-Cécile Renard, who's a coordinator in the finance team. She'll be taking you through some of the partnership agreement, subsidy contract, and next steps. And then finally, we'll also speak to my colleague, Irma Astroskaite-Denis, who's head of communications unit on the communication requirement. So just a bit of housekeeping before we start. This session is recorded. And all the presentations that you will see today will be made available on our website within a few days. So maybe not today, but you will definitely get them soon. So this is recorded and the presentations will be available. And we really encourage you to use the chat in Zoom. This is a great opportunity to exchange with each other. We have lots of projects here today from the third call. So do exchange with each other. Say hi to us. We want to know where you're from. And then, yes, so let's get started. I'm very excited about this. First, I want to welcome our director, Erwin Sivris, and he will say hello to you and give you a bit of information about the program. Erwin?
Yeah, thank you, Julie, and also a warm welcome from my side. I'm excited as you that you join us, the program family. 116 projects have been approved in December just. As Julie said, this is a kickoff of a journey which brings you a lot of new experience, new friends, we hope, and allowing you to connect with my team and the Interreg Europe family. Just a few figures. You see the third call, I mentioned already 113 projects have been approved. About half of the applications we received. I think it's a very good rate. Nevertheless, it doesn't mean that it was an easy ride for you. We know that the requirements were high. What we asked you in the application form are quite a lot. But the ones who submitted an application form, more than half of them were approved. In the next slide, you see a little bit who you are, in which thematic areas you are working in. All thematic areas of the program are covered in the third call. You see here the columns of all 3 calls. And what is remarkable is that the social area is very strong in the third call, other than in the first and second call. So we have quite a number of projects dealing with social issues, but of course also green is very important, is following a trend in Europe, and smart. Not to neglect also that connected citizens governments are also important areas of the program, even though the number of applications, the number of approved projects is not that big. Nevertheless, we take care of all thematic areas. What is also important, if we go to the next slide, is where are you from? You see here in the black columns the number of partners from the countries. You see that the most active countries are Italy and Spain. This follows the trend in the different program periods. But then you see also in the red line, when we relate the number of partners to the number of inhabitants per country, you see a slightly different picture. Then you see here that the small countries are master of interregional cooperation. And what I'm especially proud of is that among the first 10, we have, I see 2 new partner states who are already among the first 10 most active countries. You see Montenegro and Albania, who are very active, even though they just joined the program at the beginning of last year. So very proud of this. You see here the figures. What is also remarkable, when you look a little bit where the countries which are most interested in interregional cooperation are coming from, you see that they're coming more or less from the borders of the program area. Latvia, Montenegro, Estonia, the Baltic states, Finland, Cyprus, Ireland, Malta, Albania, Greece, Bosnia and Herzegovina. They all are coming from the border of the program area, and it shows the interest that these regions want to connect with the center of Europe, which is less dominant participating in the program. But it shows also the function of the program, allowing these regions who are a little bit besides the center, allowing these regions, as I said, to connect with the rest of Europe. I think that's my part. I wish you all a successful project start. And later on, we will also announce that we have further events, and I'm looking forward. I will say already that the next event where we expect many of you to come, and I expect many of you to see, is in Poland in March for the lead partner seminar. Later information will follow. So all the best, good start, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, Alvin. Yeah, I agree. I was interested looking at those stats and how the reds just shoots up in that third call. I think that was great, and it's also very good, like you said, to see how much the new countries are already getting really involved. So I think that was quite interesting. So now that Erwin's presented a little bit about the call and what the results was, I want you to meet the team a little bit, get to know us a little bit. So let's start with our structure. Basically, you've already met Erwin. He's working in the management team. He's heading not just the management team, but also the rest of us. But we also have a finance team, a project and platform team, and the communication team. Now you'll meet Irma later on, and she's head of the communication, and we basically deal with a lot of questions about your posters, your project websites, logos, how do you your topic color, things like this. So and if you have any questions about that, you can reach out to us. You are assigned a communication officer, so you can come to us directly. But generally, you will deal with your project officer and your finance officer, and these will be questions about your finances and also your activities. So you should have been assigned these people already. You can find the information in the portal under project users, but I suspect that Anne-Cécile will take us through some of these little tips a little later on. Now, all this structure is very nice, but sometimes it's better to put a face to a name. And so we've prepared a little treat for you, a little video that shows off a bit of who we are and where we're working. So do enjoy this video.
Hello and welcome to the sunny city of Lille. We have the chance to have blue sky today. Lille is located at the crossroads between London, Paris and Brussels. It is a place where the Interreg Europe Joint Secretariat is located. My name is Fedora. I'm the Project and Finance Assistant. I am the one sending you emails about the latest Interreg Europe updates. Please follow me. I will present you the team. Here is a project team. They are in a meeting now. They are currently supporting you with the fulfillment of conditions to get your project approved. They will also help you monitoring your project during all its lifetime. You will have as main contact a policy officer and a finance officer. Here is the admin office. Elodie is the director's assistant. She will be your first contact by phone. The finance team will support you in all financial aspects of your project.
Remember that if you report on time, you will be paid back quicker.
And this is Alex, our IT officer. He's dealing with the portal developments. Our communication team will help you promote all your activities and events.
We will be soon providing you with the main project visual,
a project poster, and of course, your project website.
We are always glad to hear about your project achievements, so be active and be loud on social media.
This is the Policy Learning Platforms office. This team helps projects capitalizing on their experience.
And you hope you will be active participating in our webinars,
workshops, peer reviews,
reading our policy briefs,
and our thematic news.
Here is Erwin, is Interreg Europe band leader. Our director is always very busy, but don't worry, he will keep an eye on you.
My team and I are here to support you, so don't hesitate to contact us anytime with your questions or your requests.
Now you know all the team. Don't forget to share the achievement of your project. We will be very happy to hear your successes.
That's a great video. I always enjoy watching it. It was made a few years. It was made, I believe last year, by one of our interns, and of course and Fedora as well, who's the assistant for finance, and you get to know her quite well. I always enjoy watching Lille in the sunshine. We don't always get to see that, so but you can see how beautiful the city is, and many of you will have the opportunity to come and see the city for yourself. Later on this year, we'll be having our training seminars, probably around September or October, which is a beautiful time to come and see the city. So we'll be having training seminars, but we'll talk a little bit more about that towards the end. So let's keep going. Now that you know a little bit more about us, we want to turn the table and get to know you a little bit more, and we will be asking you questions using Slido. So if you grab your phone, scan the QR code, and in 1 or 2 words, let me know how you feel about kicking off your new project. So just go to Slido, type in 1 or 2 words, and I want to know how you feel about kicking off your new project. Now, some of you could be veterans of this program. You've been in lots of projects before. And so this is, you're confident, you're ready to go. But some of you perhaps are new to being a lead partner. And so you're a little bit more excited. And then some of you will be completely new. And so this is a whole new experience for you. So I want to know how you feel about kicking off your new project. Now, I can see a lot of great words. Happy, excited comes up again and again. You're enthusiastic. You feel powerful. Oh, wow, I like that one. There's a little bit of nerves there. That's okay. Everyone, it's okay to be a little nervous, but don't worry. You'll be, you're well supported and thrilled. My God, the words are just popping up. Supercharged. Wow. And a little battery emoji. The words keep popping up. I don't know what to pick up anymore. There's just so many words. And ironically, I feel a little bit like you. I can definitely correlate with some of these words. I can't wait to get started. So why don't we get started on our webinar and move on to the steps to come. So in order to do this, I will introduce, I'd like to welcome my colleague Anne-Cécile Renard, and she is the finance, she's one of the coordinators in the finance team, and she'll be taking you the next 3 sections. So let's start with that. Anne-Cécile, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Thank you, Julie. Good morning to all of you. So first of all, let's have a look at the steps to come. Following the approval of your projects on the 10th of December last year, we have started now the online conditions meetings. And some of you have already had these meetings. Others will have them in the next days. And the purpose of these meetings is to explain to you the main conditions and to reply to your questions on these conditions. Then at the end of these conditions meetings, we are fixing with you an intermediate deadline by which you should revise your application form in the portal and reply also directly in the portal to the conditions. In case we need anything from you by email, we will also mention it during the condition meetings. Following this intermediate deadline, there will be the final deadline for all of you to fulfill the conditions. It is the 14th of March. So by this date, all projects should have fulfilled the conditions. As soon as your conditions are fulfilled, we will send you a notification letter confirming the fulfillment of condition and confirming the final approval of your projects. Shortly after that, we will send you the subsidy contract for signature. In parallel to this process, we strongly advise that you start preparing the partnership agreement and launch then as soon as possible the signature process of this partnership agreement. Next slide, please. In relation to the process for the signature of the subsidy contract, the subsidy contract will be signed electronically, both by the lead partner and by the managing authority, through an electronic signature platform, which is called DocuSign. A link will be sent to the lead partner legal representative mentioned in the portal, and the lead partner coordinator will also be in copy so that you can follow up the process, the signature process. The deadline for signature will be 3 weeks. And after the subsidy contract is signed by the LP representative, the managing authority of the program will shortly after sign the subsidy contract as well. And finally, the DocuSign system, as soon as it is signed by the managing authority, will send to the lead partner by email the PDF of the signed subsidy contract. And both the legal representative and the lead partner coordinator will receive the signed subsidy contract. One important principle is the lead partner principle. This principle means that we always communicate with the lead partner directly and only with the lead partner. And similarly, the lead partner should be the only one communicating with the JS. So in case project partners have a question, they should address the question to the lead partner. And if the lead partner cannot reply to this question, then the lead partner will send an email to us so that we can help the lead partner reply to the question of the project partners. Please always send your emails to both the policy officer and the finance officer so that we can follow properly your project. And please also always put the acronym of your project in the subject of your email. This will help us to quickly identify which project is concerned. The communication officer only needs to be in copy in case your email is related to communication. Last but not least, please have a look at the section project users in the portal. So for this, you should go to your project, and on the left hand side of the screen, you will see in the blue menu the section project users. And here you should check that all the lead partner portal users related to your projects are included. If not, you should add them, and especially make sure that they are linked with your organization, the lead partner organization, and that you include their roles. So for example, finance coordinator, communication manager, etc. And this is important because we will send emails through the portals to all the lead partner users registered in this section. And now we are going to go to some questions.
Yes, I really liked how you explained how the lead partner principle, and how you should always make sure that you copy in your finance officer and your project officer. But I think the most important thing for us, at least, is the project acronym, because we receive quite often many questions, and we don't always know which project is related. So it's like a bit of a detective work. I don't know for you, Anne-Cécile, but sometimes, yes, it takes a good 10 minutes to find out who is this project and who should I be answering to. Right, so we've got quite a few questions already. If you haven't submitted your question about the topics that Anne-Cécile has talked to so far, because we will move on to the rest of it later, and so we'll have more time for questions. So if you have any questions on what Anne-Cécile has spoken so far, please just put them on Slido. This is how we'll track questions throughout the day, throughout the webinar, and we'll take some of them live, and the rest will be answered in writing. So Anne-Cécile, are you ready to start?
Sure.
Great. Okay, so let's start with the first one. What is the expected timeline for finalizing and signing the partnership agreement?
Okay, so I'm tempting to say as soon as possible, first of all. So it's really important that you really finalize the partnership agreement as soon as possible, as we will see in a minute that there are some important obligations for your partners in this agreement. But you still nevertheless have time to finalize and sign this partnership agreement, and the latest deadline by which it has to be signed is the submission of the first first reports, in fact, to the controllers. So each partner has to have the partnership agreement signed before they can report to the program. So this is the very latest deadline, but it should be signed as soon as possible.
Okay. The next question, again, about partnership agreements. I know we will see a little bit about this later, so maybe some of these questions will be answered, but I'll take a few and then we'll put the rest of them for later on. So the second one is, again, for the partnership agreement, is it suggested to add annexes about the detailed budget, spending plan, and preparation cost division? And is it true that it's best to do this after a full approval and not conditionally approved, because maybe the budget will change?
Indeed, if you have some conditions related to the budget, it may be wise to wait until the end of the condition process to finalize the annexes with the detailed budget. Indeed.
Okay. So then we have another question from Anonymous. And if you want to tell us your name as well, that's always a little fun. We like to know who is asking these questions. The next question is, if the legal representative of the lead partner has changed, what should we do?
You can change this directly in the portal.
Simple, straightforward. And if I'm correct, there are tutorial videos that show people how to do this. Okay, so yes, we have a section on our website. If you go to help, there's a help center and you can find lots of tutorials there, and there should be a video that shows you how to do that in the portal. So the next question from Anonymous is about reimbursement. I will put that aside for now because we haven't been talking about progress reports. So let's move. We'll keep that a little bit for later. And another question after that is, will we receive earlier the subsidy contract when finishing the conditions?
Indeed, as soon as you have fulfilled the conditions and this is confirmed by the JS, shortly after that, you will receive the subsidy contract.
Okay. Right, so I'm looking at the questions. I will take number 3. The normal partners don't have to sign the subsidy contract, or do the normal partners have to sign the subsidy contract?
No, partners don't have to sign the subsidy contract. The subsidy contract is only with the lead partner.
Okay. So then I think we will, I'm looking at the questions. How does it affect the project if one partner is late in signing the partnership agreement due to long bureaucratic process, if they're not allowed to start their activities before signing it beforehand?
They can start their activities before signing the partnership agreement, but they will not be able to report to the cost to the program. But this will not affect the reporting of costs by other project partners and the lead partner.
Okay. And then the final question I'll take before we move on is, can the lead partner start any administrative procedures beforehand and prior to resolving any conditions if a project is approved under conditions?
Yes, you can start administrative procedures. The costs are eligible already since the approval date of the monitoring committee, so you can start your project already.
Okay. So the last question we'll leave till the next session. So what comes next is, I believe, the subsidy contract. So we've already answered a few questions about this, but I'm sure you'll tell us a lot more. So, Anne-Cécile, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Julie. So let's have a look at the subsidy contract structure first. So the subsidy contract is a contract between the managing authority of the program, the Hauts-de-France region, and the lead partner. It has 13 articles, so it's rather short, and I really encourage you to read it carefully, as in this presentation, I will only present the main obligations deriving from the subsidy contract, but I will not go into all the detail of the subsidy contract. So it's very important that the lead partner and even the project partners read carefully the subsidy contract. It's a document which has been harmonized with Interact, so with other Interreg programs. So you will see that in case you are involved in other Interreg programs, you will find some similarities. It's not exactly the same for each program, but it should be similar. Annex 1 of the subsidy contract is the latest approved application form on the portal. This Annex 1 will not be attached to the subsidy contract because it will always be the latest approved version available on the portal. So that's why we don't annex it, we don't attach it to the subsidy contract, but it's still considered as Annex 1 to the subsidy contract. You will see that there are two columns in the subsidy contract, one in English and one in French. But don't worry if you don't understand French, because both texts have exactly the same legal value. So if you don't understand French, you can just ignore the French text. It's a standard document for all projects. The only change is the name of the project and the name of the lead partner, but for all the rest, the articles are exactly identical for each project. And this is because the amount of the subsidy is not included directly in the subsidy contract, but it's in the application form. And also you will see that it doesn't contain all the details of all procedures, because the details of the procedures are included in the program manual. Nevertheless, the application form and the program manual both have the same legal value of the subsidy contract. And for example, the eligibility period is not mentioned directly in the subsidy contract, but it's mentioned in the program manual, which explains to you what is the eligibility period, and also through the application form, because you will have in the application form the end date of your project. Similarly, the reporting rules are in the program manual. So which rules are applicable to your projects? These are also mentioned in the subsidy contract. So first of all, the EU regulations mentioned in the subsidy contract, which are mainly the structural funds regulations, but not only. Also the European directives on public procurements, for example, are applicable. Then comes the program rules, which are the rules decided by the monitoring committee and which are explained in the program manual. And here it's important to note that the program manual applicable, it's always the one which is the latest version, which is on the website. But don't worry, in case we make some changes, we will inform you. You will receive an email from us explaining you the changes made in the program manual. And at the bottom of this pyramid, we find the national rules, which may also apply for cases not covered by the EU regulations and the program rules. And finally, I would like to mention that for partners coming from EU candidate countries, they have also to follow the rules explained in the financing agreements signed by the country with the managing authority and the European Commission, and especially Annex 2 of the financing agreements, which provides for some rules for public procurement in these countries. So now let's see what are the obligations of the lead partner. First of all, of course, the lead partner has to make sure that the project is implemented by all partners as planned in especially the application form. But you will see that in the subsidy contract, we talked about the project data, and this means all the project information which is included in the portal, which is mainly the application form, but can also be other information, such as, for example, your replies to the conditions will become part of the project information that you have to comply with. And of course, the project has to comply also with the applicable rules. The lead partner is responsible for the overall project coordination and the sound financial management of the project, and also needs to make sure that the deadlines, especially the deadlines for reporting, are complied with by all partners. And you will see that whenever we request something from you, we will also put a deadline, and so you should make sure to comply with these deadlines. In case for some reasons you are not able to, you see that you will not be able to comply with a particular deadline, please always send an email to the policy officer and finance officer so that we can grant you, if needed, an extension of the deadline. And of course, the lead partner is also responsible for transferring the Interreg and Norwegian funding to the partners. Let's have a look now at another very important obligations of the lead partner, but also of all partners, which is the archiving obligation. It is compulsory to archive all documents related to your projects, which would be useful in case of audit or in case of an evaluation, programmable evaluation, mainly for at least 5 years after the last payment made to the project. And I insist on the at least 5 years because there might be some national rules which oblige you to keep the documents for an even longer periods. An other important obligation of the lead partner is to inform the GS in case of changes which have an impact on or may have an impact on your project. This can be, for example, changes of the legal status of a partner. For example, if a private partner becomes public or vice versa. This could also be in case of legal succession, and by this we mean in case a partner organization transfers its rights and obligations to another organization. For example, in case there is a merger between the partner organization and another legal organization. This should be notified to the GS so that we can explain to you how to proceed to make this change in the application form. In case of change of the contact details of the partners, this you can change directly in the portal, so you don't need to send us an email for this. But for any other type of partnership change or any other important change or issues that you might be facing, please send us an email. I will not talk about the communication obligations and publicity obligations because this will be the subject of the next presentation, but there are of course also some provision about this in the subsidy contract. The reporting obligations, as I mentioned before, are not directly in the subsidy contract, but are described in the program manual. And we will further provide some guidance about these reporting obligations during the lead partner seminar and also during our training days in September. For now, what I can tell you is that you will have to report after each semester, within 3 months after each semester. And as the start date of your project is 1st of May 2022, The first reporting period will end on the 31st of October 2025, and so the deadline for the first progress report will be the 1st of February 2026. So you see, you still have time before this first progress report. Now let's have a look at what could happen if something goes wrong. So let's have a look at some few examples. If the budget is not spent as planned in accordance with the spending plan, the subsidy contract states that the subsidy may be reduced. So that's why it's very important that you and your partners follow closely the spending plan which is included in your application form. Of course, some deviations are possible as long as you justify them in the progress report, but it's still very important to try to follow as close as possible the spending plan. If now we talk in more general terms about the obligation and what could happen if the obligations included in the subsidy contract are not complied with. In that case, corrections may be implemented. This could also be a reduction of the subsidy, or it could be that we ask you to revise your application form, the activities, for example, included in your application form. And in the worst case scenario, if obligations are not complied with, despite a reminder to comply with these obligations, in the worst case scenario, the managing authority could decide to end the contract. In case of irregularities detected, for example, through an audit or a national check, the managing authority will ask the lead partner to correct these irregularities and, if needed, reimburse the corresponding amounts. And this even if this concern not the cost of the lead partner, but the cost of the project partners. And this is because the subsidy contract that the managing authority is signing is with the lead partner, not with the project partner. However, and this is an important however, the lead partner will be able to recover this ineligible amount from the partners through the partnership agreement. And this is why it's very important that all partners sign the partnership agreement. And this is also why the partners cannot report costs to the program before they have signed the partnership agreement. So now let's have a look at the project partnership agreement. The project partnership agreement is a contract between the lead partner and the partners, and only the partners included in the application form have to sign the project partnership agreement. The policy associated authorities do not have to sign the project partnership agreement. Of course, if you wish to, you can mention them in the project partnership agreement, but they don't have to sign it. And this is because they will not report costs directly to the program. The project partnership agreement is an agreement which is compulsory between the lead partner and the project partners. And sometimes lead partners ask us, how do we sign the project partnership agreement? Do we have to have it signed by all partners on the same document, or can we do bilateral agreements? This is entirely up to the partnership to decide, because the partnership agreement is really between the lead partner and the project partners. But what I can tell you is that some projects prefer to have it signed on the same documents. Some others prefer to have bilateral agreements, and this is also possible. And some also have told us, and this is also possible, that they have only one document, but they have one page, one signatory page for each partner, which allows them to have the signature process done in parallel for all project partners. The project partnership agreement contains all the obligations deriving from the subsidy contract, and also some obligations of information of the partners to the lead partner so that the lead partner can fulfill its obligation from the subsidy contract. And in addition to that, there are some provisions that have to be agreed between the partners. This is the case, for example, of the decision-making within the partnership or the division of the preparation cost, or also, this is not mentioned on the slide, but it's also important, the time frame by which the lead partner will pay the project partner, will transfer the funds to the project partners. There is a template for the project partnership agreement available on the website, but this is only a template, so you are free to modify this template to add any provisions or to add any annexes that you wish to add. The only limit to this is that the amendments must not contradict the subsidy contract. And the partnership agreement has to be signed before the submission of the first report. So each partner has to have it signed before the submission of the first report. To conclude, you will find the program manual, the subsidy contract, and the project partnership agreement template on our website. Please read them carefully and also advise your project partners to read them carefully. And in addition to that, you will see on the program website that there is a section called country-specific information that we also encourage you to have a look at this particular section. In this section, you will find information about the national contact points, the control systems, and also, in some cases, information about the national rules.
Thank you, Anne-Cécile. That was a lot of really helpful information. I was watching the chat while you were speaking, and I saw a lot of people asking, will this session be recorded? Yes, we will. We are recording this session, and the recording will be available, as well as all the slides. It'll be available on our website. And if you have any problems with Zoom, for example, just so you know, we record all our training sessions, and we always put them on our website. So if there's any technical difficulty there, you don't worry, you won't miss any information. You can always just come back a few days later and watch everything. Right, so I think we're ready to start with some questions. Right, let's start with the first one. What if you don't manage to fulfill the conditions? Can you still be rejected? And what if you have already started your activities?
Okay. Yes, indeed, if you really don't manage to fulfill the conditions by the final deadline given for the fulfillment of conditions, in theory, your project can still be rejected. However, I would like to reassure you that this has never happened. And if your project has been approved under conditions, it's because we are confident that you should be able to fulfill these conditions. So, if you are experiencing some issues with the fulfillment of conditions, please talk with your project officers and finance officers, and we will help you in this process of fulfillment of conditions. So we are confident that all projects will fulfill the conditions and be finally approved.
So the answer there is, don't worry, we're here to help. The next question is about archiving. Someone wants to know if they can archive everything in paper or is digital enough?
Okay, for most documents, digital is probably enough, and there is no specification of this in the EU regulations. So the national rules apply. So I cannot know for all national rules. So you should probably check if you have some doubt with the national contact point or with your internal legal services. But in most cases, digitally will be probably enough.
Okay. And is it okay to have the partnership agreement signed electronically?
This is a bit like the process for the signature of the partnership agreement. This is up to the partnership to decide whether to sign it electronically or on paper. So it's entirely up to the partnership to decide on this.
Okay. And then 2 more questions to go. How long does it take to receive the reimbursement of funds from the moment of project reporting submission?
Well, according to the regulation, the managing authority has 80 days to proceed with the payment from the submission of the progress report. This, however, often is paid before that, but it also depends on the time you will take to reply to our clarifications, because when you submit a progress report, we have a look at it and then we send you some clarifications. And during the times that you are dealing with the clarification, this 80 days deadline will stop and will start again. But usually it is paid quite quickly after the clarifications are finalized.
Okay. And then one final question, just so everyone knows, if you have any more questions, please put them on Slido. Once this is over, Anne-Cécile will still be with us and she will help Camille and Hassan in the back answer any questions that you may have. So don't feel like this is the absolute last moment, but this is the last question we will take for Anne-Cécile live today. So the province of Tyrol wants to know, the partnership agreement must be signed by the advisory partner?
Yes, indeed, it must be signed by all project partners, including advisory partner. It's only the policy associated authorities that do not need to sign the partnership agreement.
Okay, so it's a very simple question, very simple answer. Thank you, Anne-Cécile, for everything you've done. Again, as I said, if you have any more questions about the partnership agreement, the subsidy contract, or anything like that, please submit them on Slido, and my colleague Anne-Cécile, Camille, and Hassan will be in the back answering them in writing. So thank you, Anne-Cécile.
You're welcome.
Now I want to shift gears a bit and start talking about communication, which is my favorite subject. So in order to do that, I want to welcome my head of communication team, Irma Asraskaita-Denis. Irma, welcome, and the floor is yours.
Good morning to everyone. Good morning, Julie. Indeed, communication, Julie, is not only your favorite subject, it's also my favorite subject, and probably it's the favorite subject for all communication team members. But today it's me who is in front of you online, and I'm really excited to meet all of you online and to present to you communication requirements. First, we will start with the video because we thought it's nice to present you in maybe a bit more interactive way what are the most important communication requirements to follow. And after the short video where our colleague Hannah is presenting publicity requirements, I will guide you through in details and will explain you what you need to take into consideration in order to follow those specific rules.
Sometimes in our very own cities, we might spot the EU flag next to roads, historic sites, or even public transport. Seeing these signs is important because it showcases how EU investments are improving our lives. And this is why we have a set of publicity requirements here at Interreg Europe, which I'm going to explain. First of all, and most importantly, you need to make sure that the EU flag is visible on all of your project documents and during all of your project activities. For example, events. We'll provide you with a project logo which has the EU flag, which you will always use. You will also receive a project poster template, which will need to be hung in a visible place in your institution. let's not forget about your online presence. Your organization must publish information about your Interreg Europe project online or on social media. Interreg Europe will also provide you with a project-specific webpage, which you will use to announce project updates at least every 6 months. And you will produce at least 2 project videos. One at the beginning of your project implementation, where you discuss your project objectives and what you would like to achieve. And the second one at the end of your project implementation, where you present your project accomplishments. One last reminder, when publishing news about your project or when looking for an image to embody your project, for example for the project poster, make sure that any photos or images that you use are copyright free. And it's even better if you take it yourself. We look forward to seeing updates about your project activities and hearing how you're going to be making a positive change in Europe.
I hope that you enjoyed watching this video about our publicity requirements. And now let's have a look how all this kind of seems to be very simple, and it is indeed simple rules are laid down in the documents and what support we will be providing to you. I'm really glad to see many hearts and likes and smiles. I think Hannah and Lisa, who worked on the production of this video, are really glad, and I can see smiles in their faces. So, talking about the communication requirements, we have the program manual, and in the program manual you will find information where we explain in detail how and what should be done. A very useful information is where it's a table, which one you can see now on the slide, and that's also included in our program manual that summarize. It's a checklist of publicity requirements, which states that the logo set has to be used everywhere when implementing the project activities, that all project partner institutions must publish information about their project on the website or on the social media sites. All partner institutions need to link this information to Interreg Europe's website. This is what we recommend. All partner institutions must place the poster in the clearly visible place. In case your project there would be some investments or purchase of equipment, it might be then that you also need to produce a plaque and billboard and place it also in clearly visible place. Then the next rule is that EU support needs to be mentioned on all the documents used for public or participants in the project activities. We have a requirement that the project website we will be providing needs to be updated every 6 months, and a rule that is very important, it was the last rule in the video, that a royalty-free non-exclusive photos or any material you use should correspond to that rule. Now let's have a look to how Interreg Europe, how our program will be supporting you to implement those requirements by providing some specific tools and templates. First of all, at Interreg Europe, we have project branding guidelines available. We will be providing you also with the main project visual, with the A3 project poster, with a plaque or billboard template, with a PowerPoint template, social media template, and the project website. Let's have a look how it all looks now. For the main project visual, the EU regulation says that implementing project activities, there has to be EU flag. We have to also recognize the funding source. So it means that it's an obligation to say that it's co-funded by the European Union, which you can see that as the program will be providing you with the main project visual that comprise all those elements: the flag, the reference to the European Union, also the Interreg Europe's visual, and also you will have your project acronym above below the official elements of this visual. The rule here will be that the color you will get will be corresponding your project color. So for example, if your project is under smart, so your visual will be green, green as you see on the screen. If you belong to the green topic, you will have a lighter green. If your project is under the topic of connected, it will be orange, social red, citizens light blue, and governance dark blue. Those colors we took, it's not that Interreg Europe invented it, it's the colors that are harmonized along all Interreg programs, and this helps then afterwards to identify the topic the project comes from. And we also ask and advise highly all our projects to use this main color of your project in your communication. So it means that if it's planned for you to produce any brochure or any other communication tool, you should then be using this color as the main color in all your communication. And here you can see a page from our project branding guidelines we will share with you, where you have all the information and the direct and the codes of all the colors, so that you know that you pick up really the right color. As part of the Interreg Europe branding, we also have some specific elements. In Interreg Europe, we often use the hexagon shape and this 3D star element, which will be provided to you, and you are also welcome to use it if needed. At Interreg Europe, we have produced also an asset library with various icons and also a map illustrating our program territory. All this will be made available for you, and if you need, you can use it. It's not an obligation, it's what the program is using, and we also open those files to you for use if needed. For the project poster, we already talked. We will be creating it together. Project poster template will be designed by the program. However, your input will be needed. Your input will be needed to provide an image and to provide a sentence to describe your project activities, to describe your project. The other information on the partners, on the specific objective, on the budget, on the duration, and also of your topic will be taken directly from the portal, and this will be automatic. So once we will generate then together with you the poster, we will share. It will be available to you, and you can then print, or if needed, to translate into the local languages, and then hang. Each partner would need to hang it in their institutions. In some cases, it's now also possible if you implement several projects to merge this information into one poster, but the program is not in charge of this. Then it's your own responsibility to do that in case you wish. Talking about the social media, in case you will be creating a specific accounts for your project, we have templates that you can personalize and use. There is no obligation to create specific accounts for your project. Many projects we co-finance use their institutional accounts where they publish information about the project, and only part of them create a specific accounts on social media. So it's really up to you and your communication officer of the project to decide for which approach you opt. You will be doing also presentations about your project to ease your life. We will have a PowerPoint template, which you will be able to personalize. So if your, for example, project is under the green color, so your template will be green. And in order to personalize it, you will just insert your project logo and will have the templates for the slides ready. For the project website, again, it's the program that will be provided, and all the project websites are hosted by our program and are under our main page. So it's very easy to find each project in our program and to get an updates about all those activities. And the acronym and the address of your project will be interregeurope.eu / your project acronym, and this is how you will get then into your project website. For sure, all those activities we will do step by step. First action for us will be to create your project main visual, so your logo, which we expect doing in February. However, some of your projects are concerned with the slight adjustments of your project acronym, so please be quick so that we can, because we are waiting to confirm all the acronyms until we launch this project. Then the next step for us jointly will be to work on the project poster, and the third step for us will be to provide the project website, which we expect to deliver to you in around May, June, and then there will be a specific also webinar dedicated to explain you on and give you tips on how to administrate your project website. Now, we can check. We talked about support and the tools. There are also a list of communication activities that are required by our program, and one of them is to organize the final project dissemination event, to participate into 6 to 10 events at the program level during the project lifetime, which includes the events the program is organizing and also the policy learning platform events. To create an account in Interreg Europe's online community for all projects involved. Why we advise to do this? Because it allows for us to have all project partners in our community, and also then it's an easy access for you to attend all the Interreg Europe events because registration goes through our website. You will need to provide one high quality photo related to your project topic, and you can think about it now because it will be needed for your project poster, and you can use the same photo then afterwards as the main visual for your website and all other communication activities you implement. We also require to publish 2 short videos and to publish a regular update about project. So there is a presentation on achievements to be added on your project website at the later stage. Now, in the video, Hannah emphasized communication and visibility materials, and here you can see the exact formulation taken from the regulation about royalty-free, non-exclusive, and irrevocable license. This rule is important for the European Commission, and why it was set? It was set with the idea that anything you produce, program, if the license it's a royalty-free, so the program can take, let's say you publish an article with a very nice image about your project, so the program can easily take and promote it further on. The same Commission wants to do. For example, yesterday I received an email from the Commission. They were screening some news about the project. They saw that one of our projects was their good practice was noticed, and they would like to create an article, and they are asking us to provide an image. So the easy if we all respect this rule, it means that the program can automatically go to the project website and say, okay, you can use this image, and there is no long procedure to go to you to check if the license is really the right one, if we have a license for only for your country, for all the Europe, for all the world, etc. So it solves really many issues, and helps us to be very to be quick and reactive when promoting and talking about the projects financed by the European Union. So, talking about the videos, normally it's already included in your application form, and it's something that is planned. The requirements we have that they should be short, up to 3 minutes, copyright-free material useful for all project partners, and not exceed the cost of 5,000 euros per video. Some of you might have decided to include the budget to hire someone external. Some of you might have decided to produce it by yourself. So there might be budget variations that you already planned to produce those two videos. And as you already know, so 2 videos to be produced, one at the start and one towards the end of your project. Then about project presentation. Project presentation published on your website should present the achievements, policies change, cover all the regions, and should be regularly updated. So for this, you will see also some guidance from our program. The rule about publishing partners information about partners' own website or social media, the requirement is there that on your institutional page you should publish a short description about the project, its aims, results, highlighting the EU financial support, means mentioning that it's an EU co-financed project and that Interreg Europe is providing you the opportunity to have this project, to add the main project visual when it's possible, and also to link to the project's website. For poster, we talked already that we will be providing you a template, which the rule is that it should be hanged 6 months after approval of the project, and location ready, visible area for public. It can't be a roll-up banner, but it can be an electronic display, or as I talked before, can be also combined that several projects can be merged into one poster in case your institution is implementing several ones. This is possible. For the plaques and billboards, in case physical investment is involved, so that has to be placed at the start of the pilot involving investment, and there is a template prepared by the program that will be provided to you. Talking about the useful links, I think it's important for you to know where you can find the information and further guidance. So we have an implement a project page dedicated to this programming period, and you can find various resources there. There is a help center also recently produced by the program, where you can find a lot of guidance about communication and also all other templates available on project implementation. The program manual has to be the document you always refer, and we also advise to sign up to our newsletter to get the latest updates from the program. In my presentation, I was talking also about many links, and all the tools and the templates we will be providing to you. So there will be a separate email. And how we are organized at Interreg Europe, we have the documents, some generic documents placed on the Microsoft shared folder with all of you. So you will have a link, and there will be a specific folder with your project acronym, where you will find then your visual, your poster, personalized things we are creating together with you. For now, we didn't personalize, or we didn't add. We will send you information immediately once the project visual will be created, and then you will have an access to this folder. So please a little bit, patient. And the reminder for you, if your project acronym is concerned, please sort it out quickly so that we can produce the visuals for all our third call approved projects. With this, the last slide and the invitation to join the Interreg Europe's community, where you can see that we have a community of members of the organizations. So you should invite, the lead partner should invite all project partners to register, to join this community. This will also allow afterwards to link all the people with your project once your project website is live. I think with this, I finished the presentation about the communication requirements. I hope this gave you a good insight, and I'm ready to answer any questions if there are any, Julie.
Right, so let's have a look then. Again, if you have any questions for Irma, please put them on Slido and we'll happily take them live. And if we run out of time, then don't worry, we will answer them in writing. The first one is from David, and David wants to know if the high quality photo can also be generated using AI.
It can be a high quality photo generated using artificial intelligence. Only you need to pay attention. It's not our responsibility. It would be your responsibility, lead partner's responsibility, to ensure that it meets the specific rules about the copyrights, etc., where the artificial intelligence, it's not yet well defined, and some regulations, I know that the Commission is working on some regulations. Also, I would not, maybe we as the program, we would not recommend as the first or the immediate option to use the artificial intelligence tools. I think we would encourage you to go for an authentic image when it is possible, because we also see that when we have a lot of artificial intelligence generated content, then all projects look the same, and to have this variation and authenticity, we would encourage to go for a real and authentic photo. If it's not possible, then for sure you can think about some other options, as some topics of the projects might be a bit, I would say, harder to illustrate. Also, by the way, to add to this, it can be also some illustration created by the designer. That's also possible. It can be a bit more graphic. Just pay attention that if it's the poster, we also add a text so that it would work together, and that it would not be, I would say, one shot creation, but that you can also use in your project communication and during the lifetime.
Some really helpful advice there, I think. I've seen quite a few AI images, and sometimes you get extra fingers and things, so something to watch out for in your project poster. The next question comes from someone who chose to remain anonymous. They want to know if the description of their project on their partner website can be in the local language, or does it have to be in English? And so this is on their institutional website and not on our website.
So on your institutional website, you respect the language of the country, and you can publish it in your local language. If you want to provide a translation, and it's the common practice, you can do, but the obligation is to publish, and I mean, you can do it in your local language.
Okay, and then we have a similar question, which is also about the description of the project on the partner's website. Marianne wants to know if they can proceed independently, or do we recommend, given the importance of this information, that they coordinate with the lead partner they coordinate as the lead partner with us, the communication team, to ensure consistency and alignment?
It's a very good question. The tasks can be done on the partner level, and it's not important that all this information will be harmonized. You saw from my slides and the presentation that there were some just specific things to follow and to include in this short article, which was a short description about the project, its aims, results, highlight EU financial support, using the main project visual, link to project website, but each institution can personalize, and even it's better to do, because then you can like talk from your own perspective. Then this and this institution, myself, I'm Lithuanian, for example, imagine I'm a project partner from Lithuania, saying that the Lithuanian institution will learn from or will cooperate with the other X project partners from other countries on this and the subject. We hope to get inspiration. So you personalize the information. What I know is done, and maybe it's a good practice example to share, that as it is the requirement on the, it's a regulation, so EU regulation is the requirement, very often lead partners ask their project partners to send just a print screens of the information that the partners published, only for the for archiving and audit, so that they would know that this specific rule is respected. And very often it's done. We heard from the project partners that similar thing is done with the project posters. Once the partners are hanging, they are sending the pictures to the lead partner, so they then know that this is done. So that could be an inspiration for you, for the lead partners to follow that.
Okay.
Good practice.
Indeed. The next question comes from Eva. Eva wants to know if the project topic, her project topics covers different green regulations. And I think you talked a little bit about this earlier. Can she use a sketch rather than a picture? So like, I think a drawing or something like this.
Yes, definitely. Yes, you can use a drawing. You can use also, as I mentioned, can be some more like the designer works on some, yes, some graphic elements that illustrate your topic. So all this is possible. Yes.
And then one final question. There's not a lot of detail in this question, so I'm going to guess what, and the Anonymous wants to know what the requirements for the high quality photo are. I'm assuming they mean things like technical requirements, the size and things like this. Do we have any requirements for things like this?
We usually in this presentation it was written high quality photo. When we are generating or starting to work on the project posters in the email, we include information about what size of the photo it should be. I do not remember now by heart, would need to check, but in any way you will receive this information by email from us. It's more that the quality has to be enough to ensure when we print the poster, it's printed in a good quality. So normally, if it's not an image of the web quality, it works well. And as you know, the posters we have, they are A3 format.
Okay. So basically, don't worry, more information is coming soon. Well, that was our last question. So thank you, everyone. And thank you, Irma, for answering all this. I will see you later. So let's move on. I've got just a little bit more information to pass on to you before we go. We're coming towards the end of our webinar now, but there are some events that are coming up that you will very likely be interested in. So here is some information for all you lead partners out there of the third call. You need to know that the 18th of March, we will be having our lead partner seminar in Krakow in Poland. So if you haven't registered yet, please do so as soon as possible. You should have received an email about this, but if you haven't and you're a lead partner of the Third Call project, you can find the event on our website and register to that. And for everyone else who isn't a lead partner, then you can come and join us from the 19th to the 20th for our annual event, Europe Let's Cooperate 2025. Some of you know that we host this every year and it's always a blast. So again, that will also be in Poland, in Krakow. And this year we'll be celebrating 10 years of Policy Learning Platform. So it's definitely an event to come. Later on in April or June, we'll be doing a webinar on project websites. So there you'll be learning how to, for example, create news or create events, how to upload videos, how to edit your homepage, for example. So the more technical things on your project websites, which will be available in a few months when your conditions are fulfilled. In June, another very important event is the meetup between yourselves, the projects, and the Policy Learning Platform team. So this is a great opportunity for you to not only get to know what the platform does, but you'll get to meet the experts, you'll get to talk to them, and you'll get to know a little bit more about how you can get involved and what are the benefits to you as projects and how you can use the Policy Learning Platform. So that's definitely an event that you want to attend. And then finally, towards the end of the year in September, October, we'll be inviting you to Lille for our training days. So we'll have training days on your activities, on finance, and on communication. It'll be 3 wonderful days in what I hope to be sunny Lille, but the dates will be sent to you as soon as we have them. Then finally, the last thing I want to present to you is the workshops on the Policy Learning Platform. Right now, we have an event coming up in Murcia on building water resilience in times of flood and droughts. So this is the only event that the Policy Learning Platform has scheduled at the moment, but it's important to know that they are organizing events all the time, online, in person, on all sorts of different topics. And you can regularly come to our website to check to see what they're doing, or better yet, why not sign up to our newsletter, and then we just keep you informed every month. So that was the last piece of information that I wanted to pass on to you. But before we go, I have one last favor to ask. I would very much appreciate if you could take a few minutes to fill out our feedback form. It's just popped up on your screen there. If this is really important for us, it helps us to basically realize what we're doing well, what we're not doing well, how we can improve, and this allows us to serve you better. So please fill out that feedback form. It should only take a few minutes. And finally, just to remind you, the recording of this session and all the presentations will be available on our website, so you can watch it again if you've not had enough. So finally, I'd like to thank all the speakers today, Erwin and Cécile and Irma. I'd also like to thank my colleagues who were in behind the scenes, Camille, Hassan, Hannah, Lisa, and Marie. I hope I'm not forgetting anyone. And most importantly, I'd like to thank you all, you participants, for making this such an interactive session. I wish you the best of luck with your project kickoff, and I look forward to seeing you from the 18th to the 20th of March in Krakow, in Poland, for the Lead Partner Seminar and Europe Cooperates. See you there.
Thank you.